No more outbursts.
And thank you, Chair. And thank you, members, for the opportunity to introduce some very special people. At the outset, I want to recognize that Councilor Mosqueda has one of the toughest districts to represent, because she is now on Staten Island. None of us have to deal with the issue of transportation, but she definitely wanted to be here, and I want her to make some remarks as well. The individuals being recognized today are friends of mine, that are constituents of hers, and they're friends of the whole area of West Seattle. We're going to recognize some people today who've done so much for King County, but we're also going to recognize some volunteers. What happened is I had a chance to serve in the United States Army, and in that Army I had a chance to meet an individual who has done so much to bring credit to his community and his country. This is a gentleman who is one of many people who have been working to keep Seacrest Waterfront Park, Alpine Beach Park, Emma Schmitz Park, Loman Beach Waterfront Park, and the waterfront beach zone area of Lincoln Park, Des Moines Creek, and the Chinatown International District clean and preserved for the benefit of future generations. So I would like to read this resolution, and then I'll speak to it, and then Councilor Mosqueda will speak as well. Whereas since retiring, Kregg Jorgenson has dedicated himself to addressing the ongoing problem of litter in the Puget Sound area through his initiative called Random Acts of Cleanup, which he has been actively involved in for 11 years. And whereas Kregg's effort to keep our parks, beaches, and the tidal areas, including Seacrest Waterfront Park and the parks that I mentioned before, clean and preserved for the benefit of future generations. And whereas the success of Random Acts of Cleanup initiative can be attributed to the invaluable contributions of Robert Daly, Dave McCallum, to Denise Todd Pastore, Mike Chicago, Eric Schmidt, and Jennifer Leeden, who formed the core team behind this effort. And whereas Kregg Jorgenson's dedication to public service began in 1969 when he arrived in Vietnam and joined the long-range reconnaissance patrol as part of the Army Rangers, later volunteering for Apache Troop, a quick reaction force driven by his deep commitment to ensuring that no soldier was left behind. And whereas his courageous service earned him 1 Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars, a Combat Infantry Badge, and 3 Purple Hearts, a testament to his valor and sacrifice. And whereas Kregg continued his service beyond the military, first as a firefighter and later with the United States Customs Service, further exemplifying his lifelong commitment to protecting and serving his community. And whereas Kregg has contributed to the historical record by authoring multiple books that document the experience of soldiers in Vietnam, ensuring that the sacrifice and heroism of our troops are never forgotten. And whereas through his military service, public service, environmental stewardship, and literary contributions, Kregg Jorgenson has embodied the very spirit of dedication and giving back. Now, therefore, we, the Metropolitan King County Council, offer him for his lifetime of service, his tireless work to memorialize the actions of our troops, and his unwavering commitment to making a difference in his community, dated this 18th day of March 2025. This is an example this is one of his most recent books that he produced. He's produced a number of books, which hopefully he'll speak to. I'm going to invite Kregg up now to speak after I hear from my friend Teresa. She wanted to acknowledge what he's done to make her district so much better. With your permission, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you to my friend and my colleague, Councilmember Stephen Reitbauer, for all that you've done to lift up and honor our honoree here today. Thank you, Kregg, for the work that you've done for our region, for our state, and frankly, for the entire country. West Seattle is so proud to call Alki Beach home to District 8, but we know that this area of our region is not just visited by people in the neighborhood, or frankly even people in District 8. It is a gem for our entire county. As Councilmember Van Reitbauer has noted, the ways in which we make this area clean and accessible allow for all communities to be able to visit a place of resilience, welcoming, and respectful. Respectful of the families that visit and respectful of the nature and wildlife there. And it is a place that is truly a gem because of your incredible acts of kindness and acts of cleanup. We thank you for the work that you've done for District 8, for the residents there, and for all who visit, whether they live in our region or they're coming for a weekend. The ability for them to enjoy the area is thanks in large part to you and your work. And thank you, as Councilmember Van Reitbauer noted, for your service as well to this country and for continuing that commitment in your random acts of cleanup.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I ask Mr. Jorgenson to come forward and make some remarks?
Please.
How did you and your friends got involved about cleaning up the beaches? Is this something you voluntarily do? And then what are your friends for?
Yeah, sure, it's all about me. They didn't really do anything. I didn't start this. When I retired 11 years ago, my wife and I were walking on the beach in West Seattle. And by the way, we live in one of the most prettiest places in the world. We have a Riviera right outside. We have beautiful water. Trouble is, there's a lot of plastics and stuff that are floating in to Puget Sound, hitting our beaches. And that plastic doesn't just go back out. It grinds back down so that the marine life, I ended up talking to some marine biologists, the marine life end up eating the plastic. So we end up inevitably, for eating fish, God knows whatever, we're ending up with that plastic as well. 11 years ago, I'm retired, growing a goatee because that's what you do when you retire. I told my wife, I said, look at our garbage, someone should do something about it. She says, you're retired. She bought me the bucket, the gripper, and the gloves. Yeah. Why we call it random acts of cleanup is because I'm old, I'm retired. If the sun is shining, we're out there. And I say we because no organization, it's not just one person. It's the volunteers who continually show up to do the work. We have a bunch of people that will show up from time to time. Sometimes it's dozens, sometimes it's only a couple of us. But the thing of it is that when you have people that are showing up reliably week after week for 11 years, we pulled out dozens of these rental bikes that young guys tend to throw into the water. Puget Sound doesn't flush them out. So we'll go down there at low tide, we bring the bikes back up, we take pictures of it, we send them to Line Bike and say, hey, this is one of your bikes, it's covered with seaweed, this is where it is. Inevitably someone always asks, are you on work release? And I thought, well, that's from my wife, sure. And inevitably someone will also say, have you found any treasure? And I just say, look around what we have. What we have out there is not just us, it's generational. I had dark hair one time. As you guys know, I'm a geezer now. But the wonderful thing is that that's going to remain. So if we can take care of Puget Sound, our kids, our grandkids, the next generation will have beautiful places that they can go. And by the way, everybody does go to the beach to look at the scenery. And then they leave the trash there. And the trash cans, the city and the county provides recycle and trash cans that are just no more than 20 yards away. So, by the way, it's a free gym. If you're out there picking up garbage, you can get a 1.5 mile walk in every day, and it's a free gym, you don't have to pay. All you have to do is use a gripper to pick up things. And like I said, that's the treasure that I found. And how I got my friends involved, I'd say, hey, you want to go to lunch? They said, sure. I said, well, first, why don't we go ahead and pick up garbage? So I have extra grippers and buckets. I'm keeping the Clintons employed. And the wonderful thing is over the years, we've had hundreds of people that will join us on not on a regular basis, but when they can. We've had a whole family show up to do it. And it's a wonderful thing. And then there's a great deal of satisfaction in knowing that you're doing something that helps the community. It really helps ourselves. That's the whole thing. As I said, it's not me, it's my wife. She's the one who got me started on it. So thank you very much for the recognition. By the way, I won't tell you which way I was going when I got shot in my last football.
Anyway, this gentleman has done so much in his personal life and professional life. I'd like to bring your guests from West Seattle on, and with their permission, I'd like to bring a friend of mine from West Seattle to join us.
Sure.
Dow, can you come on over? Dow, this is Mr. West Seattle.
I know Dow from high school. He went to the wrong high school. He went to West Seattle.